Manage conflict through negotiation. In this competency, you will learn the following. Assess conflict. Negotiate resolution. Evaluate conflict response. Assess conflict. When conducting conflict management, there are certain requirements you must identify and comply with. These may include apprehension and powers of arrest, general duty of care responsibilities, communication and reporting procedures, and complaint and dispute resolution procedures.
Conflict is a disagreement, struggle or fight. Often security staff is hired to resolve or prevent conflict. Conflict can be grouped into two different areas: emotional conflict and violent conflict. Emotional conflicts are disputes with work colleagues, customer complaints, and general disagreements. Violent conflicts, however, can include both verbal and physical clashes.
Conflict situations may include cultural differences, ejection of persons, or even persons carrying weapons.
Each conflict situation needs to be dealt with in the appropriate manner. Your response will need to vary from assignment to assignment and situation to situation.
You may be required to diffuse the situation using negotiation techniques, isolate any risk, or carry out tactical withdrawal.
For the purpose of this video, we will deal with violent conflict first. Sooner or later, you'll be confronted by someone who is aggressive. The situation may vary, but the tactics for dealing with violent behaviour generally remain the same.
You're an absolute stupid bitch.
I'm not serving
Just
you.
get me
You're
another
an idiot.
fucking
I'm not
drink.
serving you. Alright?
Come on, get me another drink. I'll
What
take
seems
it.
to be the problem here? Just move over there. What seems to be...
Fuck off, you prick! Fuck off! Fuck off! Fucking asshole! Oh!
Okay, so what went wrong here? Firstly, the security staff approach with an attitude of "what's the problem?" rather than looking for a solution. They get too close and push the individual. Consequently, they receive an injury and the patron requires physical restraining and eviction. While the patron is being evicted, a bystander is knocked over, drinks are spilled, and property is damaged. This is not a good image, not to mention the chances of a negligence or public liability claim. As the person is rushed towards the door, the person's head is slammed into the door, causing injury, which again could lead to legal problems. Also, the security officer was injured as the door handle dug into his back. In summary, this situation could have been handled much differently. Let's have a look at that. You need effective conflict assessment and resolution skills. You will be expected to employ these skills, which include eye contact. It's important to keep direct eye contact. This helps show to the patron that you are paying attention to them. Active listening. Before you can actively listen, you need to ignore any verbal abuse or other intimidation. This is easy to say, but hard to do. Repeat to yourself the following. This person is not angry with me, but at what is happening to them. This person is trying to make me angry. This person is trying to gain control. If I do not react, I will keep control. If I do not get angry, I control the situation. Listening allows you to ask questions which, if used correctly, can direct the aggressive person towards the desired outcome. Discrete monitoring techniques. These are ways of monitoring areas without giving an intimidating or intrusive presence. These include moving around, talking to people, saying hello, saying how you can help. These are all discrete monitoring techniques. If you're going to be able to stop a conflict becoming violent, you must be able to spot the warning signs.
If you require any specialist assistance in dealing with a situation, be sure to seek this from the relevant persons in accordance with your own organisational procedures. This may include seeking the assistance of a co-worker trained in negotiation to calling for backup when a situation escalates beyond your physical control. Negotiate resolution.
So let's look at a way of doing this correctly. To start with, approach with the right attitude while assessing the situation. Move in with a non-threatening attitude while continuing your assessment. If other people are around, you want them to leave so they don't aggravate the situation, get involved, or get hurt by anything that may happen. Any weapons or items that could be used as a weapon should be removed. Separate the antagonists, in this case the bar staff and the patron. This should be done politely without undermining anyone's authority. All your actions here depend on the accuracy of your assessment. If you overstate the danger, you could end up overreacting. Remember, you should balance your actions so they're always seen to be reasonable and proportionate. You diffuse a situation when you give people signals that you are calm, that you are listening to them, and that you are non-threatening.
Remember to use negotiation techniques, such as demonstrating flexibility and willingness to negotiate and interpreting verbal and non-verbal messages. Always be mindful of cultural and social differences when doing so. Remember, other cultures and religions may have different social conventions, values and beliefs, and you do not want to risk offending someone by not being aware of this.
Give the person the opportunity to escape with as much dignity as possible. This may mean letting them get the last word in. Signs that a person is becoming violent are heavy breathing, rigid body movements, eyes widening, and they may be taking steps towards you. They may talk louder and swear. However, by verbally expressing their anger, they are burning up energy that could be used in a physical attack against you. So let them burn off that energy. If a person has not attacked you immediately, it's usually because they have not decided what they are going to do. Just as you are assessing them, they are assessing you. Okay, so let's look at another situation.
I've tried to be nice to you, I've tried to help you. Look, just fuck off, alright? Just piss off, alright? Now,
Mate, you're a dickhead.
I've tried to help you and now fuck off.
Mate,
Just
you are
leave
a
me alone,
dickhead.
now. Piss off.
The security staff has a different attitude. He separates the antagonists by moving the individual to a new environment. He diffuses the conflict between the first crowd controller and the patron and empathises with the patron by agreeing that the first crowd controller is out of line. At the same time, he plays down the whole issue. He then tries to find a solution to the individual's concern. He uses a lot of eye contact. His hands are at a steady position, which allows for defence while showing a calm body language. He asks questions, lets the person blow off steam and anger. He doesn't interrupt or talk too much, and when he speaks quietly and calmly. His facial expressions show genuine concern. Even though aggressive people often swear excessively, it should go without saying that swearing on your part will only increase their anger. It's difficult to hide your feelings when someone antagonises you or your partner, but if you want to reduce the tension, you should not take it personally. They're not speaking to you as an individual, but as a representative of the program or organisation with which they have the problem.
Evaluate conflict response. Following conflict situations, the effectiveness of your response must be reviewed and evaluated. All incident observations must be reported accurately and constructively, giving feedback on how it could be improved for next time. Review your findings and identify any areas for improvement, as well as making recommendations for amending future conflict resolution practices. Any documentation that needs to be completed should be done so with consideration to confidentiality in accordance with organisational procedures. These may include activity logs, incident reports, and request for assistance forms. Throughout your career in the security officer industry, the effects of stress can take their toll on your physical well-being. Distraction, frustration, and increasing aggression are all signs that a person is becoming stressed. Whether it's yourself or a colleague, These effects need to be recognised before they have the chance to develop out of control. Here are some techniques to help manage these effects. Conscious use of personal recreational activity. Having some interest outside of work is a good way to blow off steam and take your mind away from work while you're not there. Informal exploration of incidents with team members. Sometimes it can help to simply talk about incidents that may affect stress levels in a relaxed environment while still at work. Counselling. If the effect of stress is beginning to have a significant impact on work performance and other areas of your life, it may be necessary to seek professional help from a counsellor. Your workplace may have a counselling service available. Check with your supervisor for more information.